So I'm gonna rephrase what I just said. Melissa, thank you so much for being here and joining us this morning today. We are in our class CDNC 307, Exchange Experiences Dance. This class is aimed for students to have an exchange with the artists who work actively in the field, but in different aspects of the art of dance. So we have done multiple seminars, and this Friday we have you as our guest. Again, thank you so much. Before I leave the word to you, I want to read your biography so that we have a brief idea of who you are as an artist for the folks in the room, and also for the folks who are hopefully joining us from live broadcast. Melissa's artistic journey has been shaped by diverse cultural influences. After graduating from the Northern School of Contemporary Dance, UK, in 2011, she worked and lived in Istanbul, 2012 and 2017, where she developed a critical perspective on the global socio-political landscape. As a freelance dancer and rehearsal director, she has worked internationally with artists and companies such as Akash Odedra, C7273, Art of Spectra, and the Akram Khan Company. Her movement practice is informed by these collaborations, together with a vivid interest in the interdependence of body and mind, and has been shared through workshops across Europe, Turkey, India, and Iran. Since 2020, she has been based in Germany, working with Falk Richter and Anouk van Dijk at Münchner Kammerspiele, and engages in current researches with fellow artists like Giza Maxu, Rosana Ribeiro, Salva, and Ting Yang Yin. Melissa currently divides her time between Berlin and Frankfurt, where she's pursuing an MA in Contemporary Dance Education, MA at the HFMDK. Thank you so much, Melissa, for being here. And without further ado, I leave the studio to you.
Thank you so much for the beautiful presentation and introduction. And thank you for the invitation, Ilduz, and all of you that showed up this morning. Here is a very early morning, still a bit dark. Hopefully we'll get not some sun, but some light in Berlin. Great. I'm very excited and to spend this morning with you. So the session will unfold through different moments. I would actually like to start in a moment with a movement kind of arrival in the body and exploration, and then from there we will unfold through maybe just like having a chat together of what multidisciplinary collaboration means, what can it mean for you, for what it meant and its meaning for me, looking at maybe some work that I find exemplifies a little bit this concept, which is becoming also quite not trendy, but quite urgent and quite needed. Therefore, I see now in the field more and more choreographers, dancers that approach performing or creative process from the lens of a multidisciplinary collaboration. So it's a very exciting theme. Also because it brings the idea that we don't do work alone and we don't have to deal with our dance and artistic path on our own, but actually two bodies and two brains are usually better than one, and even especially when they come from different perspectives. So I thought a bit of also stressing this point and inviting you as students as well to look around a bit the room, your life, where you live, your contexts, and who are you with, and to maybe start also seeing the potentialities of those connections. So we're gonna work a bit on that. Before we start, I would really like to know who's in the room. So if you could share, everybody that is there, if you could share your name and your pronouns, if that's fine with you, and what is your role like in the context you're in. So yeah. if that's okay. Yes, and if you can come a bit close to the camera so I see you. when you say you're beautiful, yes, we have Zoom. Yeah, nice. Amazing, thanks. Cool. Pop, just go. Mm-hmm.
I'm Hila. My singer.
Mm-hmm.
Third year yesterday.
Super.
Yeah. Hello.
Thank you.
Hello. I'm Yağmur.
Mm-hmm.
I'm third year dance.
Super. Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Bekir, and he, and I am still here.
Hello. Welcome to our university. I'm
Thank
head
you.
of department. I am Handan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Amazing. Great, thank you. Really, really nice. Just a little first question. Why are you here? Like, why did you come to this? What sparked your interest this morning?
I wanted to know you because it was amazing. It sounds amazing here that your approaches, artistic approaches, and yeah, also this is part of our activity. So I like to follow.
Thanks. Anybody else?
This is part of our class, but I'm very excited to hear from other artists about their experience.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Super. We're going to talk a lot both ways today, so we're starting to warm up that, just so you know. Yeah, I would like to hear from everybody.
I'm also agree. I like to have new experience, know new people,
Mm-hmm.
feel, and I trust also so much.
Okay, super. Cool.
I mean, I teach this class, but at the same time, when I'm curating the people who will be guest speakers, I try to pick people whom I know and who does these different, who connect to dance in these different ways and who focus on one area maybe a little bit more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm like, we always had these conversations over like a coffee or when we were warming up, but I'm realizing now I've never like had you in this format.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very interested in like diving deeper into your practice and
Super.
how you think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Great. So it's, as said, an early morning here. I would like to start, because we have quite a long session today, so with some movement proposals, if that's fine for you. So I'm currently already in a multidisciplinary setting because my partner is a composer, and today I'm at home in Berlin, and this is our music creative studio. So there is it's gonna look, as you can see there's a lot of music here. It's gonna look a bit different than the space you're in. The practice consists basically of two parts. We're going to just do a little warm-up that is a bit inspired from a chi cultivation workshop, just to kind of get into our body. And then I have a scored improvisation that I proposed. And it's mainly a journey for yourselves, with yourself. So no, we're not going to get into kind of group scores and so on. Or touch is really about opening up a bit our body and our imaginations and our connection before we dive into something that is a bit more cognitive then, and then we're going to talk about things and write maybe and so on. Would that be okay with you? Cool. So you take it at your own pace. It's just an offering for you, because if I would be there in the studio, that's how probably we would start. Online is always a bit different, but yeah, it's going to be around 40 minutes. You can always grab a drink and kind of go back to it. If you need to go to the toilet, you go to the toilet. So just, it's an offering for you to arrive, and then we continue. Is that okay? Well, so we can set up the space a bit. Okay.
Çocuklar daha iyi yarışıyor. Hem de daha iyi.
Let me see. Yeah. And I just need to try one thing. Apologies for the people online. I hope it's not dragging too much. One question. I'm going to play a little drony sound for later. Tell me if you hear it kind of well. Welcome. Do you hear it? Cool. I recorded it because having experience with the online teaching on COVID times, my voice is more clear if I recorded the score. So I will play that later, and then we go on a little trip together. But for now, let's just start. So exactly as you're doing, find a place where you feel comfortable in the space. And we just start brushing our hands. I'm sure you did many times. Exactly. I'm just gonna put you big so I see you better. Genau, super. And while you do that, just making sure that your ankles are relaxed and your knees too. You can also shake the legs a little bit. Shake your booty. Great. And allow also this brushing to have an effect on your shoulders and on your chest. Yes. So you're not stuck. Very good. And just gently also listening to the sound that you're making while brushing your hands, and listening to the sound that the other people are making. Great. And kind of going all around the perimeter of the body, as if you're showering the space around your body with this sound. Great. And don't forget the back. Beautiful. And bring it back to the front one more time. We accelerate the brush as fast as you can for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You might start to burn a bit in the arms. 4, allow the shoulders to be relaxed. 2, last one. 1, great, and slow it down. We keep the hands together and we slowly grow them apart. This classic first chi cultivation work from Tai Chi, just a nice way for me to get my body started in the morning. And feel that you have a little bit of tension and maybe a bit of tingling in the palms of your hands. Great, and we're going to take that energized palm and just brush from the left shoulder down to the right. Exactly. Hip and the other way around. So we start creating, activating and really brushing. Exactly. And allow yourselves to breathe. You don't have to be beautiful. You don't have to be anything right now. You're just caressing your body. Wow. Great. And last couple of brushes. We're going to take it now across the belly and the lower back. So twisting the body, but brushing around the belt. Yes, beautiful. Allow your spine to follow and to ripple across the shift away from the pelvis. Great. Nice. Beautiful. We bring both hands to the back, basically lower back kidney connection, and we start brushing as if you're getting cold. Yes. A gentle invitation to release your shoulders. I don't know if you can see me. So I'm not stuck here. Yes, I let the whole upper body, beautiful, bounce. Let's go. Yes. Allow the rest of the body also to flow. Great. Keep it going a tiny bit longer. Activating energy center of the kidneys. Great, and bringing it to the front and the belly. Happy, relaxed belly at the front. Yes, up and down, up and down. Beautiful. Couple more breaths. Breathing in actively and breathing out also. Beautiful. Lovely people, thanks. And from here we're gonna go across. And I step also with my leg. I take a little lunge to the front. Yeah. Beautiful. How deep, how big, it's totally up to you. Nice. And as you do this, I invite you to take a turn around so you don't see the screen so much, but you see the other people that are in the room. And you see the space. And you see each other, exactly. Beautiful. Couple more, maybe you can go even bigger. Yes, even wider into opening the chest. Gorgeous. Amazing. Yes, and we bring it back. Good. Yes. We're doing okay? Good, thank you. I don't perceive your presence from the screen. Amazing. Couple more things. So we're gonna take now a full body shower again. We're going up in the front, back, all the way down the back of the legs. Once you get to the feet, you come brushing the front of the feet, coming up from the front. That's it. And once again, when you go down, see if you can melt your body. So really bending the body. Yes, exactly. That's amazing. Nice. Super. A few times. with the breath. Can be faster or slower, as you wish. Really connecting to the soles of the feet as you keep this energizing shower going. And allowing the spine to wave. And to find breath between the vertebrae. Great. 5 more times. 2 more times. Great. Good. We're gonna take 2 more things. Going down into the floor. Finding your own way. Bringing the feet into a diamond shape in front of you. I am turning my feet toward me. Yeah, so the sole of the foot is facing me. And just with my hands, I brush under the feet. Yeah, like you're cleaning them. You're cleaning them from the dust of the studio. Classic. Maybe your studio is cleaner than the studios we have here, I don't know. Exactly. Really have a sense that you brush stuff away from the soles of the feet. Great. Beautiful. And we find the soles of the feet onto the floor. We do the same with the front. And this is a motion that I do with the whole of my body. Really actively opening. Yes. As if you're hand washing your bed sheets. You make it, yes. Give it a bit of resistance. Yes, beautiful. Few more times. Great. Super. We're gonna widen the legs, so it's not like a second position super big, it's more of a V. We're gonna start hands on the left side, and we take circles around one side. Yeah. Opening up in the hip joint, playing with the weight of the head and the upper body. With me, anytime you need support for movement, feel free to always go back to either your breath or the sense of weight in relation to gravity. Yes. Few more times. If you're getting dizzy, just go slower and breathe in deeper. Great. And let's meet once again into the center. This time we shift on the right side. Allow the legs to be heavy, so you're not holding any tension, yeah? They are quite relaxed. And your sit bones are deep into the floor. And from here, deepening the sit bones, I go over to the left and the front. Other side, 1. Great, 2. Yes, beautiful. 3. 4. listening to the sound that you're making as you move into that beautiful studio space you have there. Great. Very nice. Coming back, we find your own way to stand up. Doesn't have to be particularly artistic yet at this point. Good. We have last thing, brushing the calves as you did in the front. And now we're gonna do exactly the same shower that we did before, front and back, but we take it outside and inside. That means inside of the legs I come up, I'll brush my fair front of the face, I come down to the side, outside to go down. Yeah, so it's the same. We're gonna do 10 of these quite faster. And here I'll encourage you to follow my pace. Yeah, last one. Let's go. We're going up and down. Allowing the weight to drop through the feet and the spine to ripple. Great, yeah. 4 more. Last one. We finish up. Great. Good, and release. Everybody okay? Any feelings, sensations? Are you a bit warm?
Very warm.
Okay, super. Amazing. That's cool. Great. So, I will slowly send the score. The score is an imaginary journey with an element, which is water today, Friday, I thought needed to ease in the weekend. So you don't really need to see me, okay? Like if you want, I will do it with you. I will also like have a look at what's going on sometimes, but you need to hear me. So I will play it and we go through it together. It's 26 minutes, I think. As I said, take it in your own space and in your own time. That's it, pretty much. Can you cover the mirror in the studio?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay, so don't look at the mirror. It's really a score for you. You can do it with eyes closed. At some point, I say to also look out and look at the space. But what I would like to avoid is that you look at yourself, you perceive your movement and your body from how it looks. It's a score that wants to do the opposite. So really try, the mirror is very strong as a presence and it's very dominant. Try to look at other people if you have to look at somebody, not at yourself. If that makes sense, yes? Cool. Any questions? Remarks? No. Very good. I mean, not very good. I hope we can warm up into this online conversation a bit more as we go, because I like feedback. But let's dance a bit more. So change your orientation now. It doesn't need to be towards the screen. Exactly. And be in a comfortable parallel position. So it doesn't also need to be held, yeah? You can also widen the feet a little bit, whatever feels good for your hip joint. Great. And I'm gonna send a score, and if there's any weirdness with the sound, you raise your hand and I stop and we continue, or I do it in a different way. Have fun. Good luck. Okay. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Just find a comfortable space in the room you're in, somewhere you like to stand, you like the perspective from that angle, you like the light in that angle, you like the heat that comes from the radiator perhaps, which is close by. Find a comfortable standing position and keep your eyes open. And from this perspective, start looking around the room. Observe the objects that surround you. Look at their colors, their shapes, the texture. Observe the memories that they bring to your mind. Notice the straight lines and the curves, the smooth surfaces and the little imperfections around you. And slowly start shifting the weight from one foot to the other. Soft hips, soft knees, soft ankles. Just move the weight of your body from right to left or from left to right. Slowly. Almost carelessly. Keep rocking side to side, gently. Almost as if you were a weed being rocked by the wind in an immense field. You're rooted deep in the ground, but your body is flexible and light and soft and keeps waving with the wind. You're being rocked by the wind. And as you continue rocking side by side, allow the upper part of your body to be soft and available for movement, to be echoing the direction of shifting the weight. Keep your eyes open. Still receive information from the objects and the space that you're in. And as you're receiving information from around the room, you realize that on top of you there is a massive tap, which starts pouring down warm, hot water inside the room. And as the water starts pouring down on the surface of the room, you start feeling it around your feet, in between your toes. And slowly the level of the water keeps increasing, keeps coming up very slowly as you shift the weight from right to left and from left to right. The water is warm. It's a nice feeling. Slowly, it arrives to the ankles, covering up your feet entirely. You keep shifting from one foot to the other. The shoulders are relaxed, your jaw are relaxed. Your eyes are open, but they receive information. They don't look out for information. Slowly, the water's level starts increasing up towards your knees, through your shin bones and your calves. It gets to your knees, the back, the front, the lower part of the leg now. It's surrounded and supported by warm water. Keep moving. Keep shifting the weight. And from the knees, the water starts rising up over your legs, over your thighs, all the way up to the groin, the pubic bone. And as you rock side by side, you feel a little bit of resistance in your legs. Still, the upper body is free to move, is free to follow, is free to be rocked. The level of the warm water keeps rising up over your belly, around your butt cheeks. Warm water embraces the lower part of your body. And as it does so, you keep shifting right and left. And your fingers and your hands start sinking into the warm water as well. Starting to play with the resistance of the water. As it rises up towards your rib cage, the lower back, all the way to your elbows. You keep rocking right and left. Your hands start describing some curves in the water. Perhaps now you don't just rock side to side, but forwards and backwards, diagonal, left, diagonal, right. And you just allow your body to be supported by this water, to be surrounded by the warmth, and to be free to move in any direction it likes to. Just keep shifting the weight. Keep floating. The level of the water keeps rising. It embraces your diaphragm, supporting the lungs inside the volume of your rib cage. You start drawing in the water curves and lines and new trajectories as you shift your weight from side to side, forwards and back, and diagonal. Relax your jaw, relax your neck. The water is warm. You want to sink in this water even more. It feels good. It keeps rising. It embraces your upper arms. It covers your breasts. Really go around the room. It fills the space underneath your armpits. As you keep playing with it, drawing trajectories and curves in the space with your arms, your pelvis, and perhaps your legs. It keeps going up, more up, over the shoulders, over the collarbone, as you move in this warm, good environment. It covers your neck as if it were two warm hands of somebody you love hugging you around the neck, releasing the tension. You still move, you still flow, you still draw trajectories in the three-dimensional space. The water molds around your body, embracing you with warmth, safety, comfort, support. It covers your throat, the back of the neck. It goes all the way over your chin and your lips and touches your earlobes. And just before it reaches your nose, we take a big breath in. And out. And in again. And out. Keep moving. Keep floating. Are you ready to give in? The water takes over. You take one more inhale. And as you exhale, you create bubbles inside of this water. And you keep moving and you keep breathing as the water takes over your face, over your eyes, your eyebrows, the forehead, and goes all the way to the top and keeps rising as you move inside of it, as you shift the weight, as you draw curves with your hands, with your feet, with the knees, with the elbows, with the back of the head, with your tailbone, with your toes. You keep breathing. You imagine that the water is just thick air, supports you, supports your body as it moves through the space softly, but with energy. Feel free. You do not make any decision. You let the body make decision for you to travel around the room. You keep breathing. You breathe in one more time. And as you breathe out, you choose a color that you like in the room. And on your next exhale, you think that from your nostrils, this color starts spreading into the water as if it were ink. Your favorite color, ink. And every time you exhale, as you keep moving, you spread the ink in the water that fills the room in which you're in, so that everywhere around you is this color. Colored warm water that supports your body as it draws, curls, falls, it catches up again. As it shifts through the space, as it rides the waves that it creates. As you move through the room, you keep releasing this color. It fills up everywhere around you. You paint the space with your favorite color. Keep moving. Keep breathing. Keep shifting the weight. Keep going. We take a big breath in all together now. Quite fast. And as we breathe out, you release this color even more. And again, one more big breath in. And out, release the color even more in the room. Keep drawing curves. Allow yourself to be supported by the water as you move. The level of the water keeps rising, keeps going up. It fills up the distance between your head and the ceiling. So now the whole room is filled with your favorite colored water. Keep moving. Your eyes are open to receive this color. And as I keep breathing and I keep pouring more color into the room, I notice that the color becomes more intense. And so my energy also starts becoming more intense. And I tone up the volume of the movement a little bit more. So I start drawing many curves and I allow more movement to happen in my body as I breathe in the colorful water. More curves. And slowly, as my movement becomes more intense and as more color gets poured inside of the water, I lose trace of the room. I lose trace of its shape. And I realize that I am moving in an ocean of color with no borders and no shapes. And I look into the openness of color and water. And in the distance, I see a little shadow as I keep moving, drawing curves. And I connect with this moving shape that I see in the distance. And I start to mirror the way it moves, following the streams under the water, following the currents, following the waves. And I keep curving and waving and moving with it until I feel that as I am looking at it, it looks back at me. And I connect with this darker shade of color in the water, this shape, this fluid, warm form of color that moves around as I do. And I smile at it, a little gentle smile of complicity as we move together, connected through the streams of the water. And I bring that smile into the different parts of my body, my elbows, my hands, my right cheek, my left foot, the back of the right knee, and I feel how the smile opens up places. I keep moving, I keep drawing curves, and I see and I receive the energy from this figure away in the ocean. And as I dance with it, I keep smiling and I smile even more until that smile starts to happen inside of my body. Until that smile opens up the back of my throat, as if from a little seed, a tiny green plant is born, and it starts moving down towards my chest, in between my lungs. And as it touches the back of my heart, it spreads inside my lungs. And I keep moving, I keep breathing, I keep shifting the weight and drawing curves, I keep smiling. And the plant spreads inside of my lungs and it opens up in little blossoms And as I breathe in every time, the blossoms open up. And as I breathe out, they close. And I breathe in again, bringing oxygen into the lungs. And I breathe out and let the blossoms close. And I keep moving a little bit faster. Pick up the pace a little bit. Faster curves, more drawings inside the colorful warm water. Keep smiling. And now the plant gains more energy and starts sneaking down through my stomach, my liver. I can feel it. I can feel it in my guts. And it starts creating curves inside of the belly. It starts creating spirals and waves and filling up my belly. As I move, as I shift the weight, as I feel happy that I am alive and I'm breathing and I'm moving and I'm sharing this moment, this endless space with somebody else far away that can still feel the lightness and the joy of my smile. Keep moving. Don't stop. Keep shifting. And as this plant grows inside of my belly, I start mirroring the pathways that it creates with my arms, snaky pathways into the space around me. I start mirroring it with my legs and my feet, with my head. And I'm swirling and creating spirals inside my body and out in the space of the water, of the colorful water. And it feels good, it feels fun, it feels nice. And I keep creating spirals and change direction. And as the plant grows inside of me, I keep moving with even more energy. We're both growing in space, inside and outside of my body. Keep shifting the weight. And as I even increase the intensity of my movement, I realize with my eyes open that somebody turned off the light in the room and that the water now is dark. And I feel that there is a light that spreads from inside of my chest, at the base of my skull, until my whole belly, until my pelvic floor. There is a light that emanates from this plant that is growing inside of me. And I rejoice in the movement of this light. And I radiate this light through the water, out in the three-dimensional endless space. Keep dancing. And all of a sudden, somebody creates a hole in the floor of the room, and the water starts pouring down. And the water starts coming down from the ceiling. And I feel the push of the water towards the ground. I feel the gravity that pulls me down. And keep moving. And I let that water take away the tiredness, sorrows, the worries, the uncertainties. The doubts, the fears. The water pours down and leaves me. And leaves me light. And I start connecting with the breath, and I slow down the movement, the pathways in the space. I slow down the tempo, I slow down my heartbeat. I connect to a restful image. And I feel the energy that I have created inside of my body. And I close my eyes for a moment. And I connect with that little plant that is born on a spring day inside of me. And I think about it with love. I look at it with love. And I thank it for being there. Just take your time. If you need to walk, leave the space, sit down for a moment. I would say we take 5 minutes for like water. If you have paper and pen nearby, it would be nice that you bring it in, like a notebook or anything like that. And yeah, if you can stay with yourselves for a moment, so not talk or share yet, just take the next 5 minutes. We meet at 13 past. Yeah? Thank you.
Avrupa'da kişi şirketi, üstte 10 kişi şirketi. Sonra da söylemiş değiştirecekler. 40 yıl başı bir ama başkasına gitti. 7 yıl tutmalı. O 40 yıl mı? Ben bilmiyorum. Soruları içinde Allah değil miydi görmedi? Sanatın çiğniğini bilmiyorum. Dans ediliyor, partilerde müzik çalıyor, tıkırdatın ölmüş. Şey yapmadım, Harun'la sana da buluşuyordum. İşte yılbaşı biliyorum, bütün okullara partiler. Tek tek bütün okullara geliyorum. O partiler hepsine dans ediyordum.
Yani bunları doldurduğunuz boşluğun yoklama var. Bunu doldurduğunuz zaman arşivimize giriyoruz. Sonra onları hani bize verince hepsini fotoğraf halinde saklıyoruz.
Ya o şey o sırası böyle.
Tamam, bir dersen.
Elimden geldiğince
Onu bırakmıştık ki daha çıkarız. Onları alabilirsin. Yani onları ben mutlaka birer hafta şeyde bırakıyorum zaten sekreterlikte. Onu şu an zaten birkaç bir şey. Senin öbür dersin öğrencilerine gelecek değil mi?
gelecek hocam şeyler. Tarih sınavları var mı?
Evet, quizleri var doğru.
Gece gelecek.
Yani onu 10 geçiyor şimdi. Zaten birazdan gelirler herhalde. Gene hareketli bir şey mi vardı?
Galiba discussion gibi olacak ama
Ben gelip giderim o zaman. Buraya şey bıraktım. Listeyle boş kağıt bıraktım. Şu an 5 tane var. Belki sen de sertifika istiyorsan sen de.
Hocam bayağı
Ama gene de bence okunanlar diye lise imzalıyoruz genelde. Tamam yani. Ya da şey yapalım. Ne yapalım?
yok genelde imzalamak.
Herkes imzalasın. İşte hocam
Nereden imzalamak bir şey değil.
Ben diğerlerine listeleri bende duruyor. Şimdi onu çıkaracağım. Tekrar size yani bir tane liste var ama bu formatta eski formatta liste var. Eski formatta bir yolculuk görmüş. Mesela benim yaptığı sağlık öğretmenim zaman. Doğru mu?
Dağıtma.
Ama benim de yaptım.
Ama diğer ben gelmedim ya o proje. Yaptım.
Ben de çok
Şimdi dediniz oldu.
Tamam, size getireyim.
Senin var bir
Arkadaşım gelmek için.
atmadığı imza vesaire. Bakarsınız.
Tamam, pazartesi
Şöyle
getireyim. Yani biz
döneceğim.
yani hiçbir şey.
Ama soğuk olup kaldırmıyor. Hastanın o soğuk. Sanki başkasının dediği.
Benim olan onları yakıp hani feedback vermiş olması. Bunlar aslında akreditasyon değerlendirmeleri için yapıldığımız belgeler. Tamam. O zaman ben şunları bıraktım. Tamam. Böyle bir sanırım. Bir gün çocuklar büyüyor. Tekrar geleceğim. Teşekkür ediyorum.
Biraz kapıyı açık bırakıyorum.
Yapalım.
If you want, you can bring in your pillows, huh? If it's more for now, more comfortable. They're very cozy, those pillows.
Yes.
It's very nice.
More than they need to be.
Yeah. Nice. Do you have a notebook, dear? And a pen or color?
Oh, no.
No, I forgot to say before, sorry. All good.
Okay.
Just I would like to take 5 minutes and then we speak. If you don't have a notebook, you can then maybe write words or anything. But just I would like to give a moment of a resonance, 5 minutes, to really put on paper almost if you're writing almost as auto writing after this improvisation. And if you have a pen and paper, to really kind of free draw. So it's kind of going back to this experience and allow that a response or a resonance to happen. Yeah, on the paper, and you can draw, or if you don't have a pen and paper, you can also write. Just pour it out. Yeah, anything. It doesn't have to look beautiful. It doesn't have to be like anything. It can be super abstract. Also, in both cases, drawing and writing. You're not going to share it, so it's for you. Yeah, just taking 5 minutes to evaluate. Yes.
Çok teşekkürler. Yusuf is bringing pen and paper for people to draw.
Yeah.
Our camera, behind the camera person, Yusuf, he's bringing pen and paper.
Amazing. Thank you. Cool. Sorry, I forgot to communicate it.
Okay.
I thought it would be around. And if we have people online, because I saw there were some comments, if you're still there, please do the same. Like I'm seeing also if there are. And then we can share, and maybe you can also join the conversation by writing in the chat. Let's see. I replying while we wait maybe to Gamze. Chatta yazamıyorum. Because my YouTube cannot connect. Gamze, sorry. I tried. Thank you so much. So if you have time and you want to stay with us, also take a moment to just put into paper some of these reflections, and if there's anything that you want to share with us, you can write. Maybe why it was valuable for you would be a question. Teşekkür ederim. Sağ ol, teşekkürler.
Teşekkür ederim.
Pardon, unuttum. Güzel. So we do 3 minutes instead of 5.
Okay.
Yeah. And just have a moment to go back to your body, see what comes out. I keep a timer. Ready, steady, go. Nice. Is there anything you would like to share about it, about the whole experience? How you felt, challenges, things you noticed in your body, in your mind, in the space?
For me, I noticed that it was very hard to do with eyes closed.
Mm-hmm. You didn't have to. So I kept repeating, keep your eyes open. But it created maybe something else, like a challenge.
It's hard to do with eyes open.
All good.
I actually had a similar reaction to that because before we started hearing your voice recording, you said
Yeah.
you can keep the eyes closed or open.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, I'm just gonna keep my eyes closed because that's what felt right. And then you in the video in the recording kept saying keep your eyes open. It's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
So I would like notice my eyes would get closed again, and then you're like, keep your eyes open. Okay. Like
Mhm.
it's this like wake up thing.
Yeah.
And then at some point you said keep your eyes closed or like close your eyes. Then I felt like I didn't want to. Like it was past that point, or like
Great.
I
Yeah.
was too awake at that point. So.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's totally okay. Like, as it's also meant to make you observe exactly this. Like, the tasks are always propositions. Never forget that for all of us. Like, it's never a command, it's an invitation. And even if it sounds like a command, you always have a choice, unless the choreographer states it differently, to go with it or go against it. Either way is going to generate something, is going to generate a movement, is going to generate a state, and you can work with that. So just being able to notice, as Yildiz is sharing, I didn't feel like doing that. And then that also provoked maybe a state in the body, and that provoked something else. That's absolutely fine. And just also to notice that process. Why am I not feeling like that? Or like, why is my body resisting that? And then going further into these questions. I find it very, very valuable. What else?
So for me, the interesting thing that like heaviness and lightness transition between them. Like when the water passed out our head, I felt like lightness on my head, and then when the water goes down, I felt heavy. I don't know. That was interesting for me.
Did you feel that it affected your movement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
But it was more slowed down when I felt like heavy, and when I felt that lightness, I was more faster and more like spine movement and everything, more open, more big movements.
Super. Yeah. A nice experience. So I like to work a lot with gravity and falling. Like, we didn't do any of that because I would need to be in the studio with that. But it has to do a lot. It starts already in this more imaginative work with exactly that, the change of the body being heavy and of the body feeling light. And where we can allow that sensation, how we can allow that sensation to also guide us. For example, when we move across the room, but also when we do something more technical like floor work, acrobatics, and how can we incorporate that idea of what part of the body is getting heavier, therefore is pouring into the floor, and what part of the body is getting lighter and can float above it. So also constantly this pouring of weight, which is where we started at the beginning with the right and left, has to do a lot with that, because that weight creates momentum, which creates energy that we can ride and we can attack and throw and land safely. So if you want, if anybody has a badewanne, a tub, a bathtub, a beautiful exercise from a contact practitioner, veteran contact improvisation practitioner that I love to do is after taking the bath, you unplug exactly as it is in the impro, and the water goes down the drain, and you lay down and you wait until the whole water is drained. And the feeling that you have after and during is your body really releasing something and losing something in the water. So your body becomes extremely heavy. And it's really about giving into that relationship with gravity and the floor before I gather that energy to then go in multiple directions. So there's a lot of really movement ideas that we can constantly harvest from really daily life and experiences, and this is a bit the practice that I like to go towards, if that makes sense. Try it with the tub, is amazing. Anything else?
So, in the beginning, I felt like it's like a meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to go into it, and in the beginning it didn't work because I had lots of pain on my back, on my leg, and then it was about hot water coming up. When I have muscle injury, I use hot water to relax. So when you say hot water coming down from the floor, I try to use it imaginary, like the hot water is coming and touching and healing. In the process, also my body warmed up, and it really worked. So there was no like pain after I get into it. And when the water was coming to the legs and slightly going up, I felt like connection to the gravity, and this water is taking me and lighter, and it's also opening the energy like chakras. When the water was going up and up, I notice things like when it comes to my heart, I really felt like fire, like it's like fire building, and when I fully in fire, I want to go. Like I want to go 100%, but I was judging. Maybe it's because when the water was in my heart level, I go back into my little traumas about my education. When I was in my license, it was always judgment.
Okay.
So when I want to go 100%, I start feeling the judgment. Like if I go 100%, people might say this is show off. People might say what's happening. This is not the task. What's happening? Like so, lots of things come to my mind. I try to silence them. I go out. I come back. I go a little bit, but I was scared to like meet.
I saw you.
And when it's the water start building a little bit up, when it's come to throat, you said let's from your back of your throat.
Exactly.
When you said that, this judgment all of a sudden start going out from here.
Sure.
And all this thing happening, I was like, what's happening?
Sorry. It's therapy now today. Oops.
Okay, when sometimes you're saying come back, you can come back to the place. When I was coming, I'm like, I really come back. Like I was not here, I was somewhere else. I was here, I was not here.
Mhm.
So it was challenging, and it was good. It was good to feel the fire. And, but now I'm like, next time I meet now, I'm like,
Yeah.
for next fire to this time when I felt the fire, I don't want to stop. I want to go. So this is what I think.
Great. Wow. Thank you for sharing this. Very beautiful to hear. Really appreciate the generosity there. And yeah, I mean, I grew up with in a ballet academy. So my head was full of other people's judgment on how I looked when I danced. And then it was followed up by certain personal experiences that my head was full of judgment when, as a woman, I would laugh too loud, or I would be a bit more emotional, or I would show certain things, or I would say no instead of always saying yes. So I think in dance, and this is a bit also one of my crusades, is like the process of really not silencing these thoughts. There will always be there, because when we in the education how it has worked until now, and from now on hopefully we'll change something. But it's all based on the outside, or how people perceive, how people see our body, how people think how body should look like, how people think movement should be like. Now this idea of also having to fulfill the task, it goes a bit hand in hand with what we were saying before at the beginning with Yildiz about the task is a proposal. But as all choreographers I worked with, and when I am in this role of assistant choreographer as well, or when I'm teaching, the task is there, but then the material that usually ends up being in a performance is the material that doesn't go with the task, but that went against the task more often than not. So really to see the task not as the rule, not as the law, but as a support. The task is a support to find movement, states, to create situation. Now we were very much on our own, but when we do improvisations that are more relational to the group, to another person, the task is there to facilitate things to happen. But it doesn't have to be a dictator, yeah? So to get rid of this idea of fulfilling the task and really looking at the task from like a different perspective, it's super important, because I did exactly the same. So coming from a very strict training, hating improvisation because I didn't know what being creative meant. I was like, what? You're not going to tell me what to do? Are you crazy? I have to come up with my own ideas. What is this? But then eventually understanding the freedom of it and enjoying it like crazy. And really like, wait, I wanted to go somewhere with this. Yes. So that you are able to bring in your self in your movement, which will not be perfect every day, but it should not be. Being perfect is not the main thing. Is being human. When you look at dance, when you look at a body dancing, when you look at a good dancer, of course it's the technique, it's the skills, it's what is there, but what really takes you is the person. And if that person in that moment is going with that fire, that's the person that I'm going to look at, because there is something true and transparent and real about the way this person moves. But if the person is, but this is not the task, maybe I'm too much, maybe I'm too little, I will see the person already kind of dealing with these thoughts, and the movement won't speak to me at all. And this is really something that I went through myself, coming also from an experience in a repertoire company. At some point, I wanted to audition for a company I liked, and I went to the audition and I got till the end. And I was gonna get the job until the choreographer slapped me in the face, and it was the best thing I could get in my life. And he said, "You're like blah blah blah blah, and I would give you the contract, but your mind, you're judging yourself all the time while you dance, and you're just limiting yourself. So go away, let loose, and come back." And really, it's about finding the playfulness with the tasks, finding the joy and just the freedom to explore and be free of this judgment. So for me, it became a bit of a life journey, a life quest with that. And especially now, I invite you to do the same, all of us, all of you. And it's much easier said than done, as you know. And especially now when we frame it more now into this multidisciplinary collaboration, it's very important not to bring judgment in the room. Also with yourself, but it would immediately mirror onto your collaborators. So, insecurity is always there, don't get me wrong. Doubts are always there. Is this working? Is this not working? This is part of the job. But to really have, create a vision of yourself that you say, no, I'm too much, I'm too little, this is not working, I'm not good at this. It's just a big wall against your own and everybody else's joy of working together and creating together. Does that make sense a bit? Yeah. Chip in.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, but you brought us there already. I don't want to hijack your plan or the flow of the seminar, but I noted down. I think it should be a T-shirt or something. That tasks are invitations. Go with it or against it. Either way, it will generate something. I think that's gold, and I'm so glad you summarized that for us in such a simple way.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about that a lot in our technique classes as well, especially in contemporary technique classes, but of course in improvisation or any kind of creative process, even with the repertory, I think what you said about the individuality coming forward, because at the end of the day, as you say, the audience is interested in who you are as a dancer, as a performer, as a creator. Even if they don't know it, but like unconsciously or subconsciously, still what counts is what you are bringing as Sila, as Yana, as Peter, as Silvi, as Melissa. Like, that's why I'm coming to watch you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, I think, especially in interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary collaboration, we should remember that task is just an invitation to generate something. And we'll decide whether we'll go with the task or we go against it or like what to do for it. So I kind of wanted to bring the conversation there, but you already did, and I wanted to express that.
Yeah, and just last note on that, and then we proceed with the plan. The said material is also a proposal. Yeah, said material is also a proposal, and then there is a lot of space there. How do I get into this pirouette? How do I get into this handstand? Like, there's a lot of choice there that a lot of people forget. So yeah, and bring in your own individuality for the audience, but also for yourselves, because another thing when you go into working, whether you are a freelancer or in a company, both ways, you need to find strategies to keep yourself motivated, because it will turn into a job. So there will be highs and lows in that. Like you know, you will have the job you wanted, the dream, then you get there and it's like, it's not what I imagined. How do I keep going here? How do I find strategies to still keep it interesting for myself and as a person as well? Because we never, and this is also when the multidisciplinary comes in for me. It was Anna Halprin that created the life art project process, and named it, not created, but named it. And it's this very strong connection between the person and the artist. You're never just the artist, and you're never just the person. You're always the two of them. So the life experiences you make feed into your art. And the sooner you get this, the better. The better you will go through challenges, the better you will come up with ideas, with creative ideas, the deeper you will explore your themes in your work, in your dancing, in your choreographing, in your collaborations. So really kind of bringing these two elements together is very important. Super. How are we doing? Good? Yeah, still sitting? Can we go into something a bit more tedious? Maybe not. Maybe it's interesting for tedious. Like I would like to share a little presentation that it's not a presentation, it's more of a support for us to chat, to keep kind of diving in now a little bit more into this multidisciplinarity aspect of things. Allora, aspetta, what is this? Entire screen? No, I wanted window, but it's not appearing. 1 second. Maybe we put it.
Paylaşacağı presentation'ları.
Evet,
Oluyor bir saniye. Evet, burada. Super. Do we see it?
yes, we do.
Beautiful. Great. So exactly, just I'm not seeing you, that bothers me, but I think it's fine. You can, if you have to interrupt me, just say, Melissa, I have a question, and also it's a question answer thing. So yes, because of the theme of today is this interdisciplinary collaboration. As I said, it's something that happens more and more in a more structural way of dealing with creative processes and then performances that incorporate elements from other, not only art forms, but also science, academia, literature, poetry, politics. So it's wild out here, but also a lot of fun because of that. I found it very valuable and I was very happy to take on this theme. I would like, before we continue, to just differentiate between 3 things: interdisciplinary, which we have, multidisciplinary, and transdisciplinary. Because this is usually something that gets quite messed up. And especially when you're looking into, applying for funding for a project, or even setting up the idea for a project, it's quite important to have this differentiation clear in your mind and so on. So, as I said, disciplines can be different things. So just to keep it very, very basic, we're talking in the performing arts, we're talking music, we're talking stage design, costumes, video making, text, so literature or poetry or theatrical text. And then in the large game of things, there is also all the support from different fields that we feed on. to create themes, to bring in perspectives, and to support basically the creation process. And that is really attending more often than not nowadays from the politicality, so global politics, socio-economical situations, so everything that relates to all the isms in the world, for example, the discipline of post-colonial thinking, or like crib theory, or ageism or ableism, all of these different perspectives, I would also bring into the scope of being a discipline, because they are kind of creating a way of thinking, of addressing problems, situations, and finding solutions that is quite unique. Science, of course, very strong philosophy as well. So all of these things are embedded into dance, and it's very important that we think of dance as not separate from these things. And actually dance is, if not the best, but I think it's the best medium to address actually all these disciplines, and it's a medium through which all the methodologies and the topics that arise in these disciplines can convey. Too fast? Too complex? Is it okay? Oh, good. Amazing. So, collaboration, we're going to talk in a moment. Let's go with multidisciplinarity. So, multidisciplinarity is basically, it could be described like this: a team of people from different disciplines that work on a project, and each member keeps their disciplinary approach separate. So let's say we are going to do an art installation, and we have music, visual arts, dancer, like a performance installation, dancer, choreographer, and each one of them work on this final product separately, and they just come together at the end to kind of feed in, and the final product is one thing that was there all along, but it is kind of enriched by these different perspectives. So this is great, and I think in academia and academic writing is also a strategy that allows you to have a thing in the middle, so address a problem from multiple perspectives, but you don't kind of make a new thing out of it. It's more of, that is the theme, and we are just feeding in from this side, from this side, and from this side. Yeah? I have a graphic that helps later. One of my favorites is transdisciplinary collaboration, which is different from inter. So also the words are already giving you a bit of an idea. Now, multi is this multiplicity, so it's coming from Latin, the plurality. Trans is something that goes across borders, something that transitions, yeah? That breaks, or not necessarily in a bad way, but like it blends things and creates a bit of a hybrid in between. So exactly, transdisciplinary collaboration requires collaboration between disciplines, which goes across traditional borders of expertise. It requires innovation and addresses the complexity of the theme in most of its facets. So this basically means that we first get all the disciplines together. We integrate the methodologies from each other. So maybe in our case of the gallery performative installation event, the dancer pairs up with a musician, and they really apply methodologies from choreography and dancing to music compositions, or the other way around. Maybe we apply in dancing scores of jazz improvisation, for example. And this kind of creates a result that is in between maybe a concert and a performance, but that is something a little bit different. You cannot really pin if it is a concert or a performance, it is something in between. And this is really like usually this transdisciplinary idea that from these connections comes the product. So the product is not anymore at the center with all the disciplines looking at it, but all the disciplines merge with their methodologies, approaches, and concepts, and they deliver a new product which is quite unique because it's born from that specific process. Feedback? Is everything okay? Questions? Because I don't. Yeah, thank you.
Question, because she can't see us, so she needs verbal feedback.
Thank you. Sorry, because I'm just doing my presentation.
Oh,
I know to get back to you.
Do we have a question?
Vai. I come back to you. Where are you? Here.
We don't, it looks like we don't have a question, but just to like have a quick recap of what we have talked about, because it was a lot of dense information. So Melissa, you talked about the difference between multidisciplinary and transdisciplinary. You mentioned that multidisciplinary has, by its origin, the multiplicity of it, but the product that comes out of it at the end is not necessarily something new, and every artist works on their own expertise, and then they come together at the end.
Exactly.
Versus in transdisciplinary, at the end product, there's that sense of a transitory feeling of the format is not quite one thing, but it's more of a hybrid format. So
exactly. Or result.
And there's this idea of each discipline that is involved in the collaboration, in transdisciplinary collaboration, somewhat influence and interfere with what the other discipline is occupied with.
Exactly. Especially interfering. Yeah, thank you for rephrasing that. Ooh. And continue just briefly, and then we can discuss. Then we land onto our thing, which is basically in the middle between the other two. And inter in Latin means the space between these two. Yeah, this in between. So not these two blending together in a glass like transdisciplinary, or two glasses that then kind of make a soup where the oil stays the oil and the water stays the water. But inter is really like the distance between this and what happens in this space. So unlike transdisciplinary, these things don't merge, but they integrate knowledge, methods, and concepts from two or more disciplines to create
Mel, do you
understanding of the thing.
Do you have your presentation on right now?
Yes, you don't see it?
We can't see it.
Sorry. Tip. Now you can?
Yes, thank you.
But sorry about that. Thank you for giving thumbs up. So then to synthesize information and produce new insights that are not possible from a single discipline alone. So we have our topic. It's not a hybrid, it stays a topic, but it is already a little bit more influenced by the different ways we look at. And this is a bit the most common thing in dance at the moment, although it goes quite a lot into transdisciplinary. It depends also on the scene. Like in Berlin, it's very transdisciplinary right now. So there is also a question of what is dance, what is not dance, and what is performance, because it got really like different, really people and artists coming also from different backgrounds. Then they get into dance and they bring this new look on what performativity and in dance means. And interdisciplinary is very present already from the 60s, 70s actually. This is a little bit, I don't know why this is like that, but don't worry about what's written in it. It's most important is that you see the shapes, and then I'll send you the presentation if you want, so you can remember. This one here, the kind of flower, is the multidisciplinary, yeah? So you see how the theme is at the middle and things are kind of looking at it from different perspectives, but still singularly, so they are not merging with each other. Then transdisciplinary is this one on the right, where things basically merge completely to feed into the theme, and the theme also feeds back on it. So it's a constant exchange, contamination. Some people call it cross-pollination of methodologies, concepts, and so on and so forth. And then here there is interdisciplinary, which is the relation between the different aspects, and it's from the relations that the theme or the final result is there, just for you to have it. So a little question for you. What is interdisciplinary collaboration in dance? Like, what do you think of when you think, this is an interdisciplinary project? Ideas, no judgment, whatever comes to your mind. There's no right or wrong.
Can it be architect designing the set for dancers for a piece?
Yeah, totally.
Or musician compose for a specific piece?
Exactly. Yes. What else? Maybe a question is, in the creative process of that, when would a collaboration between, as you said, set designer, choreographer, and composer be multidisciplinary, and when would it be interdisciplinary? For you. Again, no right or wrong. It's just opinions. This is also opinions that I have. It's no truth.
You just said the answer before. Now I'm trying to remember. I think when the artists from different disciplines work together, but they don't blend. So composer is composing
Genau.
based on his personal taste, or the set is looking at the dancers and deciding on its own and designing it. It was interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary, right? And okay. And multidisciplinary can be, for example, a dancer using its own voice and body and doing the piece, or using the props to create the set
So it can be one artist or doing all of these different disciplines together. Create, or it can be two artists, but like, is it clear?
Yeah. Yeah. It's totally one way of seeing it. Absolutely. I like this idea also that there is one person that then brings in all these other components. That is also a multidisciplinary way of working. Totally clear. For me, multidisciplinary would be what a bit you were describing before of I have a piece. I have the composer who has done a record. Okay, so he or she has composed this album, this set of songs, unattached from the performance, and it's just brought in the show, and it's used as a score, as a soundtrack to then create the piece on. Take it, I don't know, the Rachmaninoff piano concerto, and then I think Crystal Pite also did a piece on that. So it's like it's brought in, and it's one thing that it's coming from a different discipline, and it's just bringing one light on the final piece that is the final thing that is the piece. The choreographer does her thing or his thing also separately, attaches it to it. The stage designer puts a nice frame onto the show, and that's their perspective on the show. Yeah, but there is no kind of collaboration during the creative process. So an interdisciplinary collaboration with these three elements would be, from day one, choreographer, musician, stage designer in the studio. As the choreographer is working on some ideas, the musician has already prepared certain things, but is jamming or is trying out things together with the rehearsals and the creations. Set designer is there and designs the set according to what is going on in the choreography. Occasionally also dancers take the set and also create material with it. So this would be the interdisciplinary and not the multidisciplinary. Really a way of taking each other discipline to create a piece and to arrive to the final product together. Does that make sense? I don't see you, so I need to hear you. Dankeschön. Thank you. Cool. Now, I would have a couple of examples for you, if you're up for having a look. Are there questions up to this point?
Again, I have some sort of like recap comments. This is also very valuable information for me too. I think I've been, as a person and as an instructor, artist too, I've been going back and forth between multi, inter, and trans, but not necessarily knowing which one is which, because it
Same
also
before very short, like shortly ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking now from what Vicky gave as an example too. Like it feels like in multidisciplinary, and please correct me if I'm wrong. In multidisciplinary, we already have an idea what the end product will be, and then everyone is working towards that on their own ish.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I'm choreographing the dance, we make the music, and then we'll have someone set the stage for us, do the lights for us, and then we're done. Like we do the thing and it's done. It's already out there what the end product will be. Like it'll be a concert, or it'll be a dance piece, or it will be an installation.
Yeah.
Versus I think in inter and transdisciplinary, maybe less in interdisciplinary, but we don't necessarily know what the end product is. It might change, and let's come together and let's see what comes out of it. Like what can we do? with these kind of expertises? Like what would be possible if a
I don't
musician?
know if I lost them or if you lost me.
Can you hear us? Hello? Oh, I think she lost connection.
Evet.
Bakayım. Server, internal server error vermiş. Galiba uzun sürdü diye mi?
Bir daha mı göndereyim acaba?
Aynı.
Aynı link.
Ha.
Benim WhatsApp'ta
Efendim?
benim WhatsApp'ta göründü canlı yayında.
Canlı yayında göründü.
Evet.
Bir sıkıntı bir şey yok herhalde.
Şu yoktu.
Okay. Aynı diyor herhalde. Nasıl yapalım?
İsterseniz kapatalım canlı yayını bir daha açalım.
Tamam olur.
Böyle ders yorum yaptım.